Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Yoshitaka Amano platform project here, or mobile platform project, where last couple times we finally started getting the front leg going. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking really, really cute on this model. It's really kind of bringing it to life. And this time we're gonna move ahead and rather than do the other side, I still have those are blocked out, haven't done anything towards the other side of this, but we are gonna be moving towards the back end here. And we're going to be employing Morph Ball technology to see if we can get the back knee kind of area down here. Now, I'll be honest, I'm still not sure how I'm going to be doing this back leg. I'm pretty sure that when Amano went and drew this thing, he just drew lines that looked cool, I guess, and they make no sense whatsoever on here. So I haven't quite figured out how we're doing this yet, but I have an idea of what we're going to be doing for this, so I might as well start with what I do know and work towards what I don't. And that said, there are two separate options we can use for doing this. We can either start with a base object of a cylinder or a base object of a sphere to make this. And just looking at the image over there, it looks very spherish. So I'm going to start this with the sphere, and we're going to see how this goes. This could be one of those episodes where this doesn't work in the end and we wind up doing it again next time. But I don't know, we're just going to kind of go from here and see what happens. That said, just for dust's sake and all that, I'm going to once again move all my things out of the way, because this is going to be a disaster in the making when it comes to dust. Because it always is. No avoiding that. Whoop. Okay, that stuff's out. Let's get everything kind of set up here. We're going to pretend like we can put things on camera. Now I've already gone ahead and kind of roughly marked out what I'm doing on this. So the shaded area in the middle is going to be a 1/2 inch wide strip that the back part of the leg is going to come into one side, and those kind of wire things wherever he has, what I'm going to do in that is going to come into the other. So this kind of goes up to the platform. This side's going to come out towards the leg or the foot-ish area down there, and then we kind of carve in, and yeah, we're gonna start from there. Whatever, we're gonna start carving out the central pivot point first, which is what I have shaded on this. So let me go ahead and put this mask on, because my nose is already doing stuff and I haven't even started yet, so that's a good sign. And being as this is a larger sphere than the other, this does feel a little easier to manipulate and kind of move around and whatnot. So let's go ahead and see what we can do on this. More power. I actually just got in from... We just had that big snowstorm came in, snow and ice storm, whatever, and I came in from shoveling outside. Took over an hour to free my truck, but we got it done. But I'll be honest, I'm having a fun time with that, because I know I was talking to my parents just the other day, kind of seeing how they made out at their place, and they're saying it's amazing that they're growing up, they have like all the kids would be outside and they would be shoveling, that's kind of how they make their money and whatnot, but kids aren't out there shoveling snow anymore. Well, I have good news for humanity then. Over at my place, a lot of the teenagers were actually out doing the shoveling this time. Parents were there too, but there was actually a lot of the, I'm going to say teenage group doing the shoveling. So it was good to see that. Younger kids were all having a great time. They were out doing whatever they were doing in the snow. But alright, so that's always going to be part of the problem with dealing with this is every now and again this guy can catch. Once I finish doing the edging on this and I'm actually using sander, this should be a little safer. It shouldn't go anywhere. It's just, yeah, trying to hold a sphere kind of difficult. One of those shapes that just doesn't want to be held. It is just one of those shapes that just doesn't want to be held. Okay, so here's the question. How wide is this? 5/8. Okay, so I can't really use that and just kind of hold. I can get a start with it that way, but I'm not going to get too far with this guy before I start doing too much, and I need to shrink the size. Once again, we need more power to start with. I'll always start too weak. Alright. Yeah, we are very much just kind of winging stuff as we go on this one, because the front leg, he kind of drew stuff that made sense. This back leg, almost none of this back leg actually makes any sense whatsoever in terms of design-wise. So we are going to be making stuff up as we go. And like I said, I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this yet. So that's why I'm starting with this element, because this element's like the only thing I can see on here that kind of makes sense. And that's about as far as this guy's going to go. And that actually cleaned off. This thing was being caked on with wood stuff before, and that actually cleaned it off. So awesome on that. I was worried I'd have to replace the paper. I don't think that's going to be so much an issue. Let's not pull that cord. Okay, we're still in here pretty solid. Still not using any kind of power whatsoever. Yeah, I have no idea how long this is going to take to do. If this winds up taking the full time, that's cool. If this winds up going really quick, I might just get a head start on doing the other foot, just to kind of use up some time on here, because I'm not exactly ahead of the game on that point. But I have this strange feeling this is going to take a little while. Even though it is just one element on this, it's still probably gonna be some time to get this right. I wouldn't be surprised if these legs take like 8 hours to do in the end. That would be between the two sets, but I would like not to have 8 hours worth of stuff on camera. That would be kind of unfortunate, but okay, we're getting somewhere on this. Okay, let's see here. Let's get you back out, put this back in. See if we can kind of straighten out some of these edges a little bit. I'm fogging up my glasses. How are we on time? About 10 minutes in. Oh, my nose. No, my nose has been doing that all day. This isn't just to this thing. trying to do this in such a way that you can see something, but it's not. I realize that's not always the case. But we're trying. Like here I'm sure you're not seeing anything. I'm going through long stretches of time where I'm just not saying anything either, which is not cool. I should be saying something, but I haven't been able to get out to work today. It's kind of an off day from work just to kind of deal with this snow stuff. I think I pretty well dealt with that. Gonna go for a run after this. It's actually not that bad. It's gonna get worse as the week goes on, temperature-wise, so to get it done today. At least get something done today while I can. Most of this kind of comes trying to figure out what the heck am I gonna do with these legs? Because really, once these legs are done, I feel like I'm kind of on easy street at that point. I can figure out the rest. I may not know necessarily what it's all going to be in the end, but I know I can figure it out from there. But this whole section is problems. Just because, yeah, finally actually looking at this part of the legs, and frankly, I have no idea what he was thinking. Other than let's just draw lines that might look cool. Then we're not going to deal with how it's actually done. We'll let the... Because that part didn't matter. It's all about what's the feeling you want to create on something. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to actually work. You're just... What's the feeling we're going for? Okay, so at least we're in there a little bit. The ends are not good, but... Yep, I'm in between cycles again. Yeah, it doesn't stop in between like two numbers. It doesn't like that. Okay. Just need a little bit on the actual edge a little bit here. That actual edge isn't too bad. Let's go put this on and might have to bring out my favorite tool here. Kind of get some of this excess stuff off. And we're going to hope that by the end of this session this looks like something. It's going to be a little weird because it's not going to be attached to anything. It's just going to be a standalone element by this session. But okay, so we need this to actually end nicely. Straight line. Once again, we have our usual kind of just cut a straight line down there, cut one here. Now this is a little harder to cut than I've been doing before. I believe the other pieces I'm using are definitely pine. This feels more like it's a maple or something, so it's a little bit harder and doesn't like to cut as easily. But we're getting it done. We are getting it done. And my hope is this looks good in the end, because I don't want to have to redo the exact same thing starting with the cylinder rather than this. We're taking a chance by starting with the sphere first and going from there. But it just feels like it's supposed to be sphere-ish, so I'm just kind of going with that. This feels like I should be going quite a bit deeper than what I am right now, but for now, we can start it at that point. This here is the bottom portion of this. That's going to be the top. So let's see, how do we want to, I want to flatten that out. Wherever I stuck these guys. How do I hold this? Is that really gonna... Well, I suppose if I'm doing one half at a time, I can just... let's go and hit my fingers. Yeah, hold you something like that. Double check, I'm looking at my own image. Yeah, I think... Which means that's definitely going to be going down further, or deeper than that, for sure. So I want that to be kind of flattened up top. I want this side to also be a little more flattened. Oy. Oy, oy, oy. I don't know why now all of a sudden my nose is doing stuff. We've been doing this woodworking thing for the last month's worth of sessions. All of a sudden now my body's like, I'm tired of this. And now it's deciding to kind of fight me through this. Okay, so we have a little more flat up there, which means I need to carve the middle a little deeper. Where are we? We're over here. And in addition to that, hey, all right. Not good. Yeah, whatever it is, it just... Recently, my body's been just getting it. All I'm doing here is just putting a line around. I'm doing nothing more kind of than that. Every now and again, you're just going to get caught on something. It just is what it is. Stop going between numbers. Yeah, I'm not pushing down on this thing. I feel like if I push down at all, it's going to be more likely to have issues. Push down at all, we're going to have even more issues than I otherwise would have. So we didn't finish getting this side deeper, so let's finish that. Don't lose that. Don't lose that. That's... My sanding wheel just fell off the table. One second. Where did the sanding wheel go? There we are. Found it. Yeah, don't wanna lose that. Okay, so I need this part to go deeper up. Need that to go deeper up top. And you're not terrible here. I can also bring this up just a little bit so the bottom kind of sticks down. Now the trick's not doing this once. Doing this once is actually not too bad. The trick is going to be doing this second time through. Trying to remember just what the heck I actually did. I should bring that so at least it looks like now this bottom's doing something cool, I guess. Again, if he can do his stuff, he can draw this by feel and by just how it seems, I can build it the same way. We're just gonna... just a little bit more. Not even on. Where is the camera? The camera's way over there. Okay. At least now that's giving a little bit of a kind of a feeling of a plate down there. We have a side piece. I still need this to go actually quite a bit deeper. And what other type of stuff? He has almost a line going across the middle. So where's a pencil? Any pencil, right there. If I'm going to have that, we almost start from down here, kind of go to the middle, and come back. So you get a little something like that. Let's do the same on the other side, kind of there, go to the middle, and come back. I don't know how wide I made it about that wide. Now I just want a little reveal on this, nothing big, just a little reveal. But it looks like there's, yeah, like I said, some kind of detail on that. We're doing 24 minutes. We're just going to be, probably just going to be doing this one piece, and that's going to be as far as it goes. Now this isn't much. You look at the drawing, there's almost like a little kind of orangey red kind of detail in here. That's all I'm kind of doing at this point. I don't think I went down deep enough. Although in the end, the color is going to make more of the difference on this, I think, than anything else. So I shouldn't worry too much about it. Although until I paint things, the color is going to be burnt. And that's going to be my color. Yeah, all it does is look burnt, but it gives, again, a little extra something on the side. Kind of matches what it's doing on that in a little ways. Let's do one more time on the other side. We just did the front or back, so let's try to do the other front or back. Or slash inside slash outside. Couldn't tell you which was which. Actually, I kind of can. Whichever side looks better is the outward facing side. And whatever side looks the worst in the end winds up being the inward facing that nobody sees. And that's just the way that's gonna be. Once again, we are sporting the color of burnt wood. Because of course we are. Actually, this side looks a little better than the other side. A little more even, so that's probably going to be our outside side. That'll probably be inside, so I do need this to be quite a bit deeper than it already is. In terms of kind of detailing out, we're just about there on this piece. And then we got to figure out how to hook the other ones into this. But let's just finish. What are we at time-wise? 28 minutes? We're just going to finish this guy out. And yeah, that's going to be as far as it goes today. It's not a big woohoo day, but it is one that had to get done. I knew that was going to happen because it was getting... I kind of felt the blade getting stuck on that, so that one's not a surprise. That one's not a surprise. I felt the blade getting a little more stuck. I was trying to dig trying to dig deeper than I should have. There we go. He's behaving now. When you're not pushing down on the thing, all of a sudden it works. When you don't apply pressure to it, all of a sudden it works. Surprise, surprise. Alright, a little deeper still. There's also ideally I'm going to be doing the rest of these legs off camera, because you're not going to need to watch 2 sessions of just doing this. Alright, we're almost there. Just need to kind of square out all the corners and stuff a little bit. And then I think we are good. Oy. I really don't know why the dust is getting to me now when it wasn't throughout the entire first part of the process. Sorry. It's gonna want this, because of course it wants this. Once we got on this, kind of just straightening out these edges. What are we on time? We're over half an hour, so we don't need to go too much more. We have the basic idea of this, and this then create the cradle that we can have two prongs of. I can have something come out this direction. Glove is too big to be trying to show stuff off in. Because yeah, with that we can have part of the leg come out here. We can have part of the leg that is going to come out on this side. And we do need decent chunk more on this end of things. Okay, well that helped. But yeah, that gives ample room then for something like this to hook in one side. This would be the bottom down. That would be the bottom part down there. So one leg would go. It can bend into that. The other could bend into this. It gives me something to hook into, which is nice, and then kind of hide the seam behind this. But yep, that's all I want to get done today, because that's kind of our knee part. And next time, hopefully I'll figure out how to get probably the leg going down to the foot. I'll probably have the first part of the leg here that goes down to the foot, and get this one that kind of goes with it, and then the foot itself might wind up being part of the one after that. These rear legs are a little more complicated than the front legs were, so a little more going on these guys, but that's a start. That is a start. And we're a little shorter than usual, but that's going to be fine for this. For some reason, like I said, my nose is going nuts today, so let's not push things too much. But yeah, that's what another kind of more complicated shaped piece than had any right to be has been made. So that's that. And until next time, hopefully we'll get something that looks like a leg going. Until then, enjoy.